We've done a lot of them after 9/11. And some are really sad because the person that was loved was taken from us too soon. Some are downright depressing, and some are a celebration. I got the sense, as much as all of you miss Johnny Maestro, that today's a little bit more of a celebration of the music and of the man. I was doing a little research this week on him, and I just want to let you know that my role in this is when you do a street naming, it's actually a local law that you pass. So I was approached and asked if I would carry the bill, and it literally goes through the city council, the committee votes on it, the full council votes on it, then Mayor Bloomberg signs it. And it's my absolute pleasure because I know how much pride and happiness it brings to everybody. But I was doing a little research, and I knew the music. I really didn't know the traveler works of Johnny Maestro, and it's really, it's not shocking that so many of you are here today. The other thing that struck me was I would have loved to have run with that crew in that era. It really must have been a wonderful time to, and when there are a few people here, I want to hear some of the other stories. I am 45 years old and a hard-earned bachelor, so I changed the lyrics about the worst that could happen. The worst that could happen to me for a long time was that I was the one getting married. But it's an amazing song, and he has so many amazing songs. First time there was an interracial band. I mean, you guys know the stories a whole lot better than I do. Today, we do the street naming, but the next goal, as we just talked about, is to get this man into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it's funny, I'm just telling John Fusco, who was my mentor, 73 years old, a contemporary, knew the music. When I told him we were doing this today, the first thing he said to me is, "What's the story with the Hall of Fame?" So that's our next goal. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. Absolutely revel in this. It's much deserved. It's a great part of Staten Island's history. It's a great part of American history, and I'm privileged to be part of it. So thank you, and God bless.
Councilman Odell, thank you. Again, I know you got a busy schedule.
My pleasure.
This is going to be our next borough president. So. I want to give you a little history about Mason Avenue. In fact, they put all new signs on. We grew up on this block. We were what they call, and you know the term snowbirds, we were summer birds. We grew up in the Little Italy section on Roosevelt Street in Manhattan. So sorry to disappoint the people from Brooklyn, but he is from Manhattan. We've been coming here since the 40s, so I'm a little bit older than our councilman. My sister Carol, my brother Johnny, myself, our dad, mom. You know, we came to the country. Come June, we migrated here on the ferry before there was a bridge. We spent the summers here. When they knocked down our neighborhood in 1957-58, we moved here permanently on this block. Johnny moved again to another part of the area before he moved to another island and then to Florida. But for us, this was a very, very special area. It was the beginning of a lot of traditions. Coming from the city, coming to Staten Island again was the country. 4th of July was a big, big thing for us. We'd have a 4th of July party. We had a 15-foot round pool, which then was an ocean. Now it's like a little pond, stepping stone to the big ponds. But reality being that it is, that tradition in 1958 is still going strong today. We have over 70-some-odd people come, 4 generations, that you know is still taking place. This is what was important to John Mastrangelo, Johnny Maestro. For us, he was John Mastrangelo before he became Johnny Maestro. And when he came off the stage, as you all know, he was John Mastrangelo. It was a thing that he loved, as per, and I seen the first time on YouTube his last concert. It was amazing that he put together what he did to get out there and perform. The main thing to let you know is Johnny was a person that he did his job, he loved his job, he fed off the crowd, and thank you for giving him all those years, 50 plus years. But the main thing again is tradition. Tradition for us is Christmas Eve, Italian dinners, 2 fond memories of my brother and our family and our wives, our trip to Italy where we drove through Italy for 20 days. You know, things like that are what we remember Johnny for. His songs are a given. This sign, I hope, will be something that people come by and say, look, that guy brought me a lot of happiness. It'll be sad for me because my sister Carol, myself, my brother, we're very close. And the reality is they're gone, but again, their memory will be here. So I want to say thank you for coming. I've asked someone to do me a favor, someone that knew Johnny from the city, Education Alliance, from catacombs in the Knickerbocker villages, and knew him from the beach here. Vito, are you around? He's done a tremendous memorial for John.
Nice job, Ronnie!
This man did a tremendous job at the memorial and the show that he has on CTV. So, if you don't mind, I appreciate you to say something.
Thank you, Ron. You know, one of the strangest things that I met John in Manhattan, and we started singing with our first group, which coincidentally was called the Crescents before the Elegants. We were the Crescents, he had the Crests. This was in the very, very early stages. I was only 14 years old. He was a couple of months older than me, and he in turn was just turning 15. He told me his family was out here, and the summer bungalows were here. We're only about a mile and a half up the street. We're from South Beach, born and raised, native islanders, as they place in the obituaries when the time comes. But I used to meet him over here. We used to meet here because he felt uncomfortable walking from here to the neighborhood over there. And on South Beach on the boardwalk, we would be about anywhere from 150 to 200 kids every night of the summer. So he felt a little uncomfortable walking there alone. So I had to meet him here and walk him into the neighborhood, into the Italian neighborhood. Okay. So where else would a Mastrangelo be? I don't know how you wound up in Midland Beach, but you're on Staten Island. That's good enough for us. The one thing that I remember he said, and this was a very strange situation, but we were talking one day, and he said, and Bobby Darin also, family had a summer bungalow in South Beach. He used to come from the Bronx. And he said, you know, it's funny. He said, we're all looking to have a hit record. I hope one of us make it one day and have a hit record. Within a year after that statement, we had the #1 record. Johnny had 16 Candles, and Bobby Darin had Splish Splash. Can't get more eerier than that. But that was a prediction, and actually it was Johnny that made it. And I just want to say that you miss him for his music. I miss him for his music, and I miss him as a person. Nobody got as many standing ovations as Johnny did. We all got standing ovations in the audience. He got standing ovations in the wings. He got standing ovations from his peers. That is the greatest compliment in the world. Johnny, God bless you.
As a member of the Brooklyn Bridge, it's a great honor being here. We've known Johnny for 42 years on stage, and we knew Johnny on off stage just as much, and even closer off stage, going on road trips with him. You know, our life is like an iceberg. It's 10% new people out there. The other 90% is us, living our lives, going to the job, being with the families, our children, our grandchildren, and that's what our life was with Johnny Maestro. And his memory and his spirit will always be with us in the future and beyond. The great Johnny Maestro, the icon in rock and roll, and as we said, we definitely will be pushing for him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and his family is going to be very proud of our intentions and our efforts to get him there. So for the future, Johnny will be with us in our hearts forever. Thank you very much.
Just one more quick thing. I want to take time to say thank you for the people that are on the Team Maestro for the Hall of Fame. Carl, thank you for bugging Jim's office. I'm sure they're happy they won't be hearing from you now every 15 minutes. But Carl Momo is a very instrumental and led he was the point person in getting this thing done. And he's been by here, I think, last night about 10 times to make sure we're still here, right?
Absolutely.
So let's hope the sign stays up. No one fans come and take it. But again, appreciate all you coming. Again, his music speaks for himself. But believe me, he was a better person. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. So you got to pull out.
Let's all grab a piece here.
Yeah, come on. We're still stuck.
Go ahead, Grace. Everybody get over there.
Now you got to kind of pull out.
Come on over here. We'll all kind of everybody grab a piece.
1, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What did you say, Vito? You said what?
Here we go.
Give me a crutch.
Just say, excuse me. Excuse me. There we go.
Is this another almond job?
We always get a second one. Present to the panel. So.
Let's get a shot for the first.
Okay.
Louise, Liz, come on over. Come on. Well, I mean, that's don't let go, because I'm only with one finger.
Look over this way.
Ready? Turn to this side now.
You get any close?
Made in Japan.
You gotta get back.
Somebody got a Japan will be glowing.
Yeah, this way, please. Again, Jim, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I know you got a busy schedule.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
Grace, stay there. And Grace, turn around. Dad, get in front of her.
Ron,
Get in.
I like yours better. I was gonna try to swap them out. Do it. Come on, Ron.
Anthony, we'll pick you up.
There you go.
Let me know when I can get up.
Thank you. All right, thanks for coming, Jen.
Okay.
How cool is this?